In our world, there are many cultures, many traditions, and many differences. Fortunately, with transport progress, a lot of people have had the opportunity of being abroad and know different cultures. I wish I could tell you my experience abroad, but I cannot because I've never been in a foreign country. Then I've brought you a guest, and I'll introduce him in a second. Welcome to Majo's show. Hello everyone. Today we have our cultural activity, and for this activity we have one of my classmates of my career, and he is Ian Lee. Please come.
Hello, thank you for inviting me. I'm so glad to be here.
So do I. Then we have 9 questions. But first, tell us about you. Where are you from? What do you study? What do you like to do?
Well, I started the same career as Majo. I'm from the United States. I've been living here since I was 2 years old. Yeah, I'm very happy to study this career.
Well, first question. Can you tell us about your experience living or traveling abroad?
Yeah, if I'm not wrong, I've been traveling outside of Colombia, not like 5 or 6 times in my 19 years of life.
Okay. What prompted you to move or travel to a foreign country?
Basically, to be able to know all other countries, to be able to visit them, and also thanks to my school, I've been able to go to China, to Dubai, and thanks to my family, I was able to go to the United States, Mexico, or even Dubai. I also be able to go.
Okay. What were some of the biggest challenges you faced during your time abroad?
For example, Latin America or even USA kind of culture, because it's kind of similar in that way, but also could be kind of money. In USA, everything is expensive, or even in the whole world, everything is expensive. And for example, in Europe or even in Asia, kind of maybe language or even the culture, the way a lot of people act with the people that come from outside, or even with the same citizens, maybe could be those.
Okay. Did you experience any cultural shock?
For example, in Dubai, that I went in December, people go outside in very luxurious car or even with the buses, but there's no anyone that walks in the streets. For example, in China, maybe the food, because China had the famous thing that they eat almost everything. So
they eat bad.
Yeah, they eat bad things. So.
Did you eat bad?
No, I didn't. But I eat, for example, insects. I remember I eat a frog, but frog heart. And it was delicious. But yeah, it's like those kind of things that are weird. But you have to assimilate to continue with your travel.
Okay.
And the frog was good.
You, please. Okay. If you could go back in time, what would you do different? Maybe don't eat the frog.
No, I will eat it again.
Yeah.
But for example, something I would love is that every time when a travel is ending, I always go back to Colombia. For example, in Dubai, my father had the possibility to go to London, and he invited me to go to London also, instead of going back to Colombia. One of the things that would change maybe is, instead of going back to Colombia from any of the travels I made, is go to another place and keep knowing all these other countries. In the meantime, I'm going back to Colombia.
Okay, that would be a pretty good decision. But you didn't take that decision. Okay, what advice would you give to someone who is considering living or traveling abroad?
Be prepared. Is like the best thing I can say for traveling or even living in our country is be prepared. Be completely sure of what things you're going to do, or what place you're going to visit, what place you're going to stay. For staying, obviously, find a good place where you could live, or a good work and everything that. For traveling, is basically be prepared of what things you want to do, where you want to stay, where you want to eat, because in every place in the world, everything is expensive. So you need to be prepared with all those things.
Okay, nice. Would you consider living or traveling abroad again in the future? Why?
Yeah, traveling because even though I'm traveling a lot, I do not know the whole world. So there are many places that I would really love to know. For example, London or even Australia that is far away. I would love. And for living, yeah, also it's not for saying bad things about Latin America, but I will not live in Latin America.
Then what are you? Then what are you here?
Because I'm studying here because there's no place to study.
Okay. Okay. Next, what was your favorite part of living or traveling in a foreign country?
For example, being able to assimilate or even to join the same culture, the same method of living, the same thoughts people, the citizens have. Maybe that kind of being part of the same group of people is one of the things I really love. And the food also the food.
Also a frog.
Yeah, delicious.
Another dish apart of the frog.
No, being honest. Well, for example, dumplings or in China, for example, the honey chicken is also delicious.
Okay.
As I remember it.
Okay, and French food.
I did not eat that much French food. I love, but basically, as I went alone with a cousin, we eat like in restaurants in many parts of the world, in Chinese restaurants, in Japanese, in Italian, but not really in French restaurants. That was the problem.
Okay, that was a mistake in my opinion. But well, last question. Did you have any problem with languages? I know that you speak English, Spanish, and a little bit of French, but I know, for example, in China, for example, in Dubai, did you have any problem?
In the case of France or Paris, I speak a lot of French. I think it's not excellent. So maybe misunderstanding with other people because French people do not like to speak English. I don't know why, but they do not like it. So the kind of misunderstandings in those, in that travel. For example, in Dubai, everything was in English, even though people were speaking Arabic and around this Arabic language, but most of the things were in English. In the case of China, I went, I think it had been like 7 or 8 years since I was in China. And in that trip, I went with my school. So there was a person in China, or I think it was a teacher from my school. There was a design person for speaking with others. We didn't speak that much Chinese, even though we learned Chinese in that time, but it was a certain person that was in charge of speaking for all of us.
All right. Thank you for being here. That was so interesting.
Thank you for inviting me.
Okay, I hope you won't eat frog again, please.
I do not promise anything.
Okay, bye bye.